Yeah, my name is Olubenga Ayola SMH.
And my name is Omolara Ayola PMH.
Please, we want to tell you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, SPMH TV.
Yes, that's our YouTube channel, SPMH TV. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that when new videos drop, you'll be notified.
On it, you expect War Foundation show.
Yeah, you expect Uncle SMH series. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been enjoying that.
And many more.
And many more. Messages, skits, movies. Wow.
God will bless you as you do.
Amen.
Don't forget that notification button, please.
Bang-a.
Ta-da! That's right. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Life is in phases, and many times we cry. We have been battered, abused, despised, forsaken, but a storm can sink us. Christ makes the difference. We are strong, we are beautiful. There is nothing stopping us. We come out strong and refine us gold. And this is War Foundation Show. We are strong, we are beautiful. There is nothing stopping us. We come out strong and refine us gold. And this is War Foundation Show.
Hello there, and thanks for joining us on War Foundation Show. This is where you get to share your story from experience to encounter, and you get to give a voice to your testimony. My name is Omolara Ayola PMH, and I'm your host on this show today. Today on this amazing show, I have my guest right here with me. She's an awesome woman of God, and she's going to be sharing her story with us on this show today. You want to know who my guest is? Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
War Foundation Show, from experience to encounter.
You're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, you are still tuned in on to War Foundation Show. And I told you earlier on that I have my guests in the house. She's an amazing woman, like I said earlier on. My guest is an emotional health therapist and a social sector manager, a sexual health ambassador, and an emotional health coach for the past 24 years. Yes, you heard me. I said 24 good years. You want to hear what such a person has to say. Join me in welcoming Mrs. Esther Oyebola Adekoya.
Thank you so much. My host, I'm so happy to be on this show.
We are so glad to have you.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to having you.
Oh, really?
But we're so happy to have you on this show. And I'm sure that you have a lot of things to tell us today, from your experience, to your encounter, to your ministry, to the NGO, and so many things. I forgot to tell you that my guest is a woman of many parts, and she's going to be telling us on this show today. Okay, so Ma, I know that many things that we have been through in life, our experiences, are the things that have formed our lives on so many occasions, and then they determine what we do. So, what is your story, Ma?
Yeah, thank you so much once again for this privilege to share my story. Like I know, there's always, your mystery becomes your ministry.
That's right.
Well, I came from an humble background. Yes, I'm the second child of my parents. And one of the initial issue that I have is that I have issue with my self-esteem.
Wow.
And there was something that resulted to it. I have an only brother with my elder brother. And he had some friends that always pick on me. Probably because of my height. And then my color, because they always mock me that Yankee do that kind of thing, and that gets to me.
Okay.
And naturally, I have this personality. I'm a very reserved person, very quiet. Yeah, but I can be, if I come out, I can be very interesting, but I keep to myself. I call it a shell then. Okay, so, and then also what contributed to like something I can call as an emotional abuse was when I was in Form 2 then, years back, one of my teachers then saw me passing and then said, some people will just grow langa langa.
Wow.
You know, that word never left me. It's so many years now. And then it affected me whenever I'm in the midst of my friends. I'm always like crocheting, because I always feel I'm very tall and all that. So it affected me. So I don't want to be in the midst of people. And also I feel I'm always too dark and all that. So I always keep to myself. So in the course of all this, I decided to come up with something that I can cope with. Well, I can say is probably a negative coping skill. I found joy in reading romantic novels.
Wow.
Yes, those are days of. I started with Pace Letter, and then M&B, that Mills and Bones.
That's one of the popular ones.
Yes, popular one. But that one was not satisfying me. Then I had to really accelerate. I started reading a Sea Hot Romance, Temptations, and then I do Dennis Robbins, Barbara Cartland, and
Wow.
James Hadley Chase, and all
Wow.
of these things. So I'm lost in my own world. So I don't need any company and all that. So that kept me to myself. But then, alongside, one thing about reading all of these romantic novels, it dropped a filthy and a seductive, deposit inside of my heart. And so that was where the issue of the sexual health started. Or should I say sexual struggle? Struggle, yes. Because, yes, I felt reading it is just to improve my English and all that. But then those people that wrote those novels, they have a purpose why they wrote it. And so that was what I mean by it was a lustful deposit. And then it affected me. And then, of course, lust is the mother of all sexual sins. And then because I don't mix with people, but then there's something I do, that was how I started masturbation. In my own company, I was, masturbation is kind of a solo sex, and all within yourself and all that. So I'm alone. That. But then alongside, I also discovered something about myself too. I love writing. So, but then the issue of the masturbation, I couldn't discuss with anybody. I couldn't even mention it to anyone. And when you see me physically, you say, "Oh, okay, this is our sister." I wasn't even using the ring then.
Wow.
I was like, like a spiritual sister and all that because all alongside. But I knew I was having that struggle a long time. Until I knew God was not happy with that. So by the time I enter into the higher institution, finally when I met with Christ, yes, I came from a Christian background. And I keep to myself a lot and I have the fear of God. So, and then I'm also cautious of the kind of friends I mix with. So, physically, I don't indulge in all of this sexual escapade, really. But emotionally, God told me you are even worse than a prostitute, and I can't hide that from God. And so I had to deal with my inner man. What am I going to do? Then, because finally, after so many years, giving my life on and on, finally when I met with God.
Many of us give our lives, we take it back. Give our lives, we take it back.
And do that. And at this time, I had a revelation one day. And the devil was like, I need this vessel. I want to use this vessel. Wow. It's going to be good for me. And then I had another voice that you belong to me. So which area, which part are you going to go? I decided that because I mixed with the right set of people, really, though I know I have my inner struggle, I decided, no, I'll go the way of the Lord. He created me. He knew why he created me. So at that point, I had to make a decision. And God told me, go and throw away all those novels. So it was very hard. It was an addiction. When you say somebody is addicted to smoking, that's addicted. So I was addicted to reading those novels. It was so vulnerable to it. I can't help myself. At the time then, when they are disturbing me at home, I go to the toilet and lock myself. My mom would say, "Come out, Esther. I'm busy." It was that bad. So I had to make up my mind. I went through of all the novels and get it burnt. Physically, it's gone. But what about the one in
The
your
one
mind?
inside.
It has gained root and gone. And so that was another. And so, like I said, I also mentioned that I have a gift, and I wanted to write about that. So that was my first novel. I wanted to write about people that have a lustful feeling, because, like I said, your mystery is your ministry.
That's right.
Because I've been there. I know the struggle. It was not good, and because I had to follow God, so I started writing a novel in line with loss. That how long are you going to leave the leaven of the whole lump? Why don't you fix it and fix it? And so that was how I started writing that particular novel. And then I also discovered that marriage was not a cure for loss
At all.
If it is there, it is there. And I don't want the devil to disgrace me. So, and then while I was scripting those novels together, the devil told me that, I pity you. You're going to expose yourself. Now, all those that I believe you to be a very, spiritual sister, because, I take position I'm a Bible study leader.
Okay, ma'am. Let's take this very short break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
World Foundation Show, from experience to encounter.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still tuned in on to World Foundation Show. And we are still here with Mrs. Adekoya. Yes. In your earlier statement, you said that when you were going through the issue of masturbation, that you couldn't tell your parents, even though you were from a Christian home. What was responsible for that? Why couldn't you talk to your parents? I feel that Christian parents should understand better when a child is going through something. So why couldn't you tell them?
I couldn't share such intimate, struggle with them.
Wow.
Because I believe we don't have that kind of relationship. So they are not the kind of person I can share it with. And then the way they will reprimand me as if I've done something.
Yeah, possessed.
And and like, I can't.
And the next thing is to go for deliverance.
Exactly. So I won't want to do that.
And so many people are going through this kind of thing. A lot of young people, youth are going through issues. They are addicted to so many things, and they just wish they could share with their parents. But the parents are not just they are not just ready, or because of the judgmental attitude they are going to put up. And this is a serious issue in our society. And I just wish that someone would, maybe a parent, a clergy, would just understand that a lot of young people are going through many things, and they really, really want to talk to their parents. This is just to drop this for somebody. So,
sorry. So when we even consider what we are in a world perverse, a crooked and perverse generation, with a sexual decadence. Even then, we had less things to contend with. This was novels that I was reading. But what about the society? Deck with lots of lustful things and all that. So even the present teenagers or youths now have a lot of things to contend with. So they are even worse than we from our own generation.
That's right.
So this is something that needs to be addressed.
Wow.
Well, you can imagine, lust is always mother of all sexual sins. And the masturbation is not one. There are other sexual sins now, and it's even prevalent. And we have to,
Okay, so you were also talking about your gift, your writing gift, and you want to actually build on that. So let's hear you on that.
Yes, when I discover who I am and that I just want to write, So I felt I want to write about somebody struggling with loss. I would just, I just wanted to, replicate myself because I know the kind of struggle I went to. And why doing that, though the devil wanted to threaten me and like, oh, so you want to expose yourself by writing about somebody. Everybody would like, oh, so you mean you've been there and all that. And I slowed down a bit and God was like, you have to do this. And then I decided to obey God. And and that was what break the camel's back. That was when I now got my deliverance. But all along, I've been going through some self-deliverance. I bought one book one day, self-deliverance. So I've been praying. After I burnt all the books, so I did self-deliverance just by myself. But it wasn't working. It wasn't, working. So, but this writing was what helped me, especially when the book now came out and it's all about loss. So that's why, for how long are you going to keep that habit? Are you going to wait until that habit disgrace you before you fix it and fix it? So by the time I fixed that writing, God was able to fix me. I got deliverance, and that struggle I overcame that struggle. And now I'm not afraid to tell anybody that I've had that past. I'm an overcomer.
Yes, so that's the joy, because someone's testimony is another person's deliverance. Really, because when we share our story with people, you pour yourself into either a book or a show like this, or maybe a voice recording. That, I think somebody needs to do a voice recording of what your experience is. Even if you're still shy or you're still afraid, you need to do a voice recording of what your experience is and just spread it. Let someone shame the devil by exposing his plans and purpose over your life. Because when you share, there's a level of deliverance that comes when you share your story. Okay, so from that experience and then to your encounter, which is when God told you, write this book, and that is when you're going to face it and you're going to fix it. And then you faced the writing and God fixed you. So between then and now, how has it been?
I can tell that that was when then I had zero tolerance for sexual abuse. And so because I now, my book now starts to promote sexual health and probity. That is the morality and all that. So the first time the book came out, there was a girl that read the book. It was in the north. As soon as he got it, he wrote back to me and said he had been having this kind of a struggle. That thank you so much, Mrs. Adekoya, that she never knew she can overcome this. That she's a Christian, a good girl. Because when you read that storyline, a good girl and all that, but she's having that struggle, and God gave deliverance to her. So I have lots of testimony on how God has helped that. And then God said, that's not done. So now God started giving me different topic on sexual abuse that many people go through. So I have a book on campus prostitution, and that's Isabella testimony. That no matter the height, the depth, the width, or the breadth of your perversion, that God is able to redeem you. And that has also brought lots of testimonies on that. I have one on the masturbation. I have one on same-sex attraction. In fact, that's the second part of For How Long. That's for the first book. The second part is Make It Soon, and that's on same-sex attraction, that homosexual, how you can overcome. And I have other ones to sibling sexual abuse and
that's so rampant these days, and a lot of parents are not saying it.
They are not saying it. The funniest thing, will I say the funniest thing or the real thing is, as soon as God gave me the topic to write about, now people that go through it, as in real people, it just connect me with them.
That's right.
So that shows me that that this is a case that needs to be dealt with. Yeah, so that means you cannot just play with whatever I tell you, because I have people out there that need to be delivered. So that's how God has been using the book to deliver so many people, and the counseling resource.
Wow, and I hope someone has heard that when God has given you an idea or has given you an instruction, it's for somebody else there. Do not delay. Okay, so Ma, you have an NGO.
Yeah.
What is your NGO about?
Okay. Yes, while I was talking initially that I had two contention, the one on how why I became a sexual health ambassador. And then the other one was the area of emotional abuse. Now, because of my nature, reserve and all that, and because people always talk down on me, look down on me, say a lot of things that makes me withdraw to my shell. So over time, I developed some negative emotion, of feeling bitter, lonely, unloved, rejected, abandoned,
Depressed.
and depressed and all that. So then that now, and now God now told me to write about people that have all of this negative emotion. So that was when learners are Sashas. So I had to do a lot of search on the net, and I discovered depression, what World Health Organization said about people that have depression. So because of the emotional ills that I have over time, I have negative emotion. And then when I wanted to write about, the title of that book now is Precarious Faith.
Faith, yeah.
Precarious faith,
Too,
the people that have negative emotion. So I discovered what World Health Organization stated, that by the year 2020, depression is going to be the second leading cause of death and worker disability, and that by the year 2030 is going to be the major after any health issue. And then that book came out 2009, and the outcry then was, what am I going to do before the year 2020? And so that was how the NGO started. And when the book came out, God told me, you have to go further, reach out to so many people. And then, because, when back then, when you know me, you won't even look at me twice, because there's nothing about me that will really appeal to you, because that depression really affects my outlook, the way and all that.
That's what it does, yes.
Yeah, so but then because, your mystery, your ministry. So while I was doing that, I got healing for my depression too. God had to take me through some therapy. So that's why I'm talking about depression today. It was because of my emotional abuse that people look down on me, talk down on me, even when I'm married. So I can't defend myself and all that. But discovering who I am and giving attention to who I am has helped me, come out of my shell. I'm still coming out.
Yeah, we are all work in progress, actually. Yes, you said something that God took you through, a kind of therapy or something like that.
Yeah.
Some people believe that if you have not visited all these normal therapies, and all that, you cannot heal completely. But you said God took you through it. So it means that it is even possible for God to personally take some people through it. And of course, I'm not going against all those therapies, because some people need them for what they are going through. But for you, it was God himself that took you through it. And I'm sure to an extent, you also were willing to get that healing.
Yeah.
Because if God wants to heal you and you're not ready, there's nothing that can happen, really.
Yeah.
Okay, Ma, you talked about the spiritual therapy that God took you through. What were few of those things? What were those things that you did?
Yeah, that is even the fundamental aspect of how God helped me. When God told me write the book, and all along before the book came out, so God had to take me through the spiritual therapy, and that's the word therapy. I had to come up with scriptures, that had to do mind. And one of the scriptures, I can still quote it. I have to meditate and memorize it, about talking about your imagination, bringing your imagination to the obedience of the Lord. So this is something I had to quote every day. Whenever that that lustful thought comes, I have that scriptures to combat with it, and then before it loses power, and so I fill my mind with a lot of scriptures. And so that was one of the major things that helped me.
Wow. Wow.
So
Amazing.
it brings about what we call mind sanitation.
Wow.
The scriptures by the time, and you say the word of God is like water, also it cleanses and all that. So
great. Okay, so you have people that you have helped with your NGO. You've been with people who are struggling with depression and several other things. Are there people that you've come across that, first of all, that have healed, or those who are actually struggling to heal? Are there people like that?
yes, I do. A lot of them. because my book exposes me to so many people. And so by the time anybody gets hold of any title, and it speaks to them, it ministers to their particular sexual need or emotional need. And so they'll feel that this is the kind of person they want to talk to. And so they are ready to open up. Whenever they mention the title of the novel, I know the issue of concern they are going through, and then I just pray with them. Even the good thing is that God himself has even done the work, because I believe that inside of the book there's a lot of messages and all that, because I'm an inspirational writer. So it's beyond me. I'm just a vessel that God input his word and using it. There's I don't want to share a particular novel of a girl. He read the book Scar. Now that girl was abused by the teacher.
Wow.
And then after the abuse, she started having this lustful feeling and always feeling sexual and all that. And the parents got to know. They took her to a therapist who want to help her, but she that thing still continued. And then that was when somebody introduced the book Scar to her. He said as soon as she read that book, she was healed. And she told me that God healed her of lust and masturbation. And I was like, oh, that book is actually not the one on masturbation. He said, it's that book. He said that one is the healing. It healed him completely. So God has been using the book by himself.
So apparently God can use anything to heal anybody at any point in time. Yeah. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you for coming. And what would be your advice for young people and parents especially?
Okay, yeah, my advice to people is that whenever you are having all of this lustful or a feeling that is not right, either lust or any emotional heal. Now, if you don't deal with it, it's going to lead to more complication. So that is time you have to give attention to that, because those emotions have a voice and it speak.
That's right.
And don't be an emotional slave. Now you talk to somebody who can help you. Open up. That is one of the things. A problem shared is 50% solved. Don't keep it. You see some people committing suicide and all that because they've not found anybody to talk to. So open up. Because wherever the mind goes, the man follow. And so make sure your mind, you are able to take care of the health of your mind. So that's my advice. And then for those people that are struggling with sexual ills, the major sexual organs is actually not your genitals, but it's actually your mind. So that's why you have to take care of the health of your mind. Yeah.
That's right. And then parents as well.
Oh, parents, yes, they have to give attention to their children, not only giving them presents, gifts, or money and all that. They have to be present. Sorry, I still want to share. I'm a storyteller. I don't want to share a particular story of the same scar of a particular girl that connected to me and told me, Mr. Adekoya, you're the only one that understands me. My parents don't love me. She doesn't care. She doesn't even know what we teenagers like. He said, but I read your book, Sky. You just spoke what is on my mind. And I said, okay, do you want your parents to connect with you? He said, yes, especially my mom. I said, okay, now do the favor. Give that novel to your mom so that she can get to understand. And she did that. And then the mother called me and said, thank you so much. I've been trying to look for ways to connect with this girl, to understand her. He said, but when she gave me the book, I understood how to deal with my teenager. He said, now, thank God we are best of friends. So let us, parents should be resilient, creative, come up with, because we have different kind of children.
That's right.
Also take time to study each of the child, and so that you can reach them, so that you won't lose them. There's so many things or people out there that will take them out of the path of righteousness. So also make sure the kind of friends they mix with. So parents, we have a lot of work to do, because God has given us a trust, and we have to preserve the next generation of God that will take the battle to the gate of the heaven.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. I got that. God has given us the opportunity to raise the next generation, and we have to also raise them. And then also she said, where the mind goes, the man follows. So you have to take care of your heart. So if you have anything that is bothering you, something you're dealing with, you need to talk to the right person. I didn't say talk to someone. I said talk to the right person. Thank you for coming on World Foundation Show once again. We're so glad to have you. My guest is been so amazing. But before she leaves the set, let's take this break and we'll be right back.
Foundation Show, from experience to encounter.
Okay, welcome back. My guest is still here and we have something for her. Yes, we have this for you from World
my
Foundation
God.
Show.
Wow.
This
And
is
this happens
ours.
to be one of my best color.
Wow.
Royal color.
We are in the spirit. Okay, so this is what we have for you. Thank you for coming.
Wow.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Wow. I need to color this. It's therapeutic.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is actually.
Thank you so much, World Foundation. This is awesome. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And so this is where we draw the curtain on the show today. If you want to be a part of this show, you have a story to share, or you want to partner with us, you want to sponsor a part of this show, please send us an email on the email address on your screen, or you call us the number on your screen. You can also check out our website, www.worldfoundations.org. Send us your request, send us your story, send us your partnership. We need you to partner with us. We need you to sponsor. If you want this show to continue, we cannot do it on our own. We need you to be a part of this show. When you check our website, you can see our account details, you can see our phone numbers, you can see the many things that we do, and we trust God that is going to bless you. So, till we come your way again next time, don't forget your purpose is in your pain. Bye for now.
Life is in phases, and many times we cry. We have been battered, abused, despised, forsaken, but a storm can sink us. Christ makes the difference. We are strong.